Yo, what's up, guys, and welcome back to this week's episode of the SOUNDPROOF podcast. I'm here again with Jonth.
What's good?
And this week we've got Magnus on the podcast. What's up, dude?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I didn't introduce myself this week. Tom Wilson, as always, good to see you. But yeah, we've got we've got Ewan with us, whose stage name is Magnus. Yeah, you've got multiple projects, so we'll talk about everything that's been going on, but it's great to have you on. We've got another member of the booth here, so lucky to have you. How's it?
Oh, have you been talking about the booth on the podcast?
We have been talking about the booth on the podcast,
Okay.
We even have, like, on the Discord, there's a little tab where you can see the members of the booth. You're in there as well, if you haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
It's a very...
Have you explained the origin stories?
No. We don't go into that. It's an exclusive. It's an exclusive club, right? We can't let them know what it's about.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, how's it going, dude? What have you been up to?
Finishing projects, which is feeling really boring, but because it's like the worst part, I find. I like coming up with ideas. I don't really like finishing them.
But what part of finishing have you been doing? Like just mixing and stuff? It's usually like mixing, just trying last little edits just in case there's a better option. And then transitions and things like that as well. Yeah.
So are you that kind of guy who has like 7 different versions of the same song before you actually call it finished? Or
No. I've done that a few times. I've done that 2 times, but that used to blow my mind. But yeah, more recently I've been trying new things. So like, for example, I would get a vocal sent to me after I've done an instrumental, and then I'd redo the whole instrumental because I didn't like my half. So that's something that I've done once or twice now.
With that song that I liked the original version more of, Cupid.
That was it. Yeah.
But they're both good. They're both good. But apart from that, I'm guessing you spent like hundreds of hours on Minecraft recently as well.
Minecraft. What else?
a little bit of Valheim before your PC.
Valheim was good.
Yeah.
Before it broke.
RuneScape in it.
It's always that. Yeah, that's always there.
You always have that open in the background.
That's just a background grind thing.
Yeah.
RuneScape.
Okay, shit.
So yeah, you're doing music full time, aren't you? Well, you're trying to.
I'm doing it full time in terms of the hours putting in.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not paying full time.
Is it not? Well,
not at the moment.
You're trying to take it to be that eventually, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I do want to. I mean, it's earning me money, like a reasonable amount, but it's still just scraping by. So
yeah,
give it a little time. It's going in the right direction, though.
So it's like I don't know. I don't remember who said it. I think it was Kashmir, but so many people have said it before him. It's like you gotta if you want to live off of music, you gotta live like a fucking bum before you can actually like properly do it. You know?
Yes. So one thing that keeps me tiding over is doing like mixing services or like lessons.
Yeah.
Actually, I look back at some of the old mixing services I've done, and one of them was for the song that it was by Jessia.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was looking back, I was like, oh my God, I actually mixed that, but now she's blown up.
She's a famous TikTok star now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
it's huge.
It's
not as
funny.
huge as Tom Wilson on TikTok.
Shut up. Hit 3K followers yesterday, so don't hate.
Wait, 3K?
3K?
What the fuck? You were on 2K like last week. What the fuck
I was on
happened,
2K a couple of bro. It just clicked.
That's really good.
You're grinding. That's really good.
You gotta grind it. No, but maybe whoa. Part of the reason I started is Ewan bought that machine ages ago to make TikToks, and then just decided it wasn't for him. And I was like, oh, I could do that. But like, why wasn't TikTok for you?
I'm not sure what it was. I think I just don't enjoy. I think maybe to begin with, I got the wrong idea of what you had to do on TikTok. Like you see a lot of people making kind of cringy videos. Not gonna lie.
So you thought you just had to be cringy?
I thought I had to be cringy, and I can't. Like people might find me cringy, but I personally can't try to be cringy. I don't know. I've got too much.
I mean, that's not necessarily the content that does well either.
No, I know.
A lot of the content that I like is not this kind of cringy shit. Whenever I see the cringy shit, I just keep scrolling, you know?
No, I know. But I got the kind of wrong idea of it. And Although I like what Tom's been doing recently, where you're like doing DJ mixes, and that's something I might actually do because
it's doing better. It works well. You just play basic like pop charts, dance music, which you know everyone will like, and then put it in a quick compilation, and then give it some sort of energy and make it look like you're not dead inside, and you do half decent.
It's definitely something I might do. Of course, you're like getting better at DJing and stuff too, so that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure I agree with that. I think I'm getting worse with each one because the music's horrible. It's like the fucking Wellerman remixes and stuff like that.
I'm getting flashbacks to that Vita night with Chris's when you fucked up.
I fucked up. Oh god,
that's too good.
We'll have to explain that another time.
Yeah.
But okay, let's move on to some of the music you've been releasing lately. So the last thing I can currently see on your Spotify profile is the Colours EP, which was released
or the lack of music I've been releasing.
The lack of
recently.
you released a 5-track EP, so we'll let you off. You know, that's 5 months worth of releases, so you got a 5-month break. But
okay, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, let's walk through that. So let's like think about this. You've got that sort of sound, which is more your pop sound, and then you've basically got loads of different sounds that you've been doing, but like explain what you're going for with this stuff then. Explain what Colours EP means to you.
Honestly, as a producer, I just enjoy making music. That's it. That's all I like. I don't like making a certain type of music, and I really enjoy working with different people as well, and drawing different influences from everywhere. So if I'm going to reference a kind of direction of, let's say, a career path, that sounds really boring, but someone like Diplo or even Skrillex, if you get his dubstep stuff out of the way.
Dylan Francis,
for sure. You've got Calvin Harris, S.J. Lewis, a guy called Wethin. I think that's how you say it.
Wethin or something.
Wethin, yeah. So those guys are the kind of influence for me. Not really just their music, but like the approach they take to music, like the industry and releasing.
So you just want to do a bit of everything by the sound of it.
Well, I can't make music if I'm not having fun. Yeah, basically. So,
So I think this, from being in the booth with you, it partly comes down to the way you work and your process. So like, talk us through how you start a track, because I've started doing this since you talked about it, but I think a lot of people start in a lot of different ways. So
Okay. Well, one thing in the dance music scene, let's say, is we talk about the word ghost production quite a lot. It's like, this person is ghosted by this person. Even when it could have been a co-write, let's say, so you're both in the studio together, writing together. In other parts of the music industry, because I do singer-songwriter stuff as well, we can talk about that. But there's a lot of collaboration, and if you look at the credits for a lot of pop songs or just kind of indie songs, there's a lot of people behind those a lot of the time. So
yeah, ghost production is really only something that you can find in dance music, which is really
it's
really
known as co-writing in everywhere apart from dance music. And then as soon as it's dance music, it's ghosting, and it's like the worst thing ever. But yeah, like I see a service called Splice.com as co-writing for me. And as soon as I started seeing it like that, so someone's laid down an idea, it could be a guitar loop or sometimes a vocal, although they're not very good over there. It's like someone was in the studio with you, just like any other bit of music you're making. But it's a way of producers that might not be used to that environment to take other people's ideas and expand on them, basically.
Well, it's definitely,
once you start seeing it,
like, it's such a great way to start, honestly, because like a lot of people, I feel like, open up FL or something and they'll just have a blank screen there and they just won't know what to do. It gives you a direction to head in. So,
well, that was the biggest problem for me, was the blank slate. It's just opening it up and not knowing what to do. For years, I struggled with that. And if you were in a writing session, you'd have like a pianist or a guitarist or a singer there with you. You'd bounce ideas back and forth. But when it's just you, it's like you're just speaking to a wall. So I didn't enjoy that. But when you start using other people's work from Splice, that's pretty much how I always start ideas now.
Yeah. We talked about this. Was it the first episode or was it
I think we've talked about this in a couple of episodes now, this whole thing, because
Splice.
It's quite a controversial subject, as Ewan said, within the scene we're in. I feel like a lot of people don't, like, they have, I've said this before, where they have like this elitist mentality where they shouldn't be using this, and you're meant to do 100% of everything yourself, which is just not the case with creative stuff.
Fucking stupid.
I've been loving sampling. Like, I've got a record player. I want to do this more, but I've got a record player back there, and got a bunch of old records over there, and you can just run the record through your interface and record it into the master, and then chop it up and do whatever you want with it. And that's such a cool, like, Muramasa is a producer that I really like as well. Forgot to mention him. Yeah, but he does this a lot. He takes vinyl samples. I imagine you get artifacts with that you wouldn't get through like a digital sample as well. So but you also just get sounds that you would never be able to make yourself. Like I'm not a very good pianist at all. And even if I was, I might have different influences from, let's say, a classically trained or a jazz trained musician. You'd start with different chords, and you know, that's why collaboration is so common in music. But why it's like, that's why on most music it's like a really important factor, but in dance music it's different.
It almost doesn't exist. And if you are to like write with someone in dance music, most of the time they're like, no, I want my name in the fucking title. And like if you look at pop music, there's so many people credited, and literally only the singer is in the title. Like the other people are just credited in like the writing credits. And I don't understand why people mind it so much in dance music. I think I wouldn't mind at all having my name taken off a track that maybe didn't fit the way I wanted to brand myself, but I still want to be in the credits, and I still want to make my money from that track, you know?
I suppose it's complicated because if you're like a small-time producer, like I still think I am, how do you get noticed without your name behind something?
I'd like to think that the important people look at the credits. But if the song does well, the important people that actually matter, like if anyone's going to reach out to you, it's going to be the people that look at the credits. Going
back to the point you were making, I really think it is with with a lot of pop stuff, like the people that produce that are often people who are like studio engineers, and they don't want to make a name for themselves, and they're meant to be co-writers. Whereas with producers, like it's harder to show your personality through your art if you're not like putting your name and brand to everything, if you get what I mean, and like having that presence. And it's kind of like you feel like you need to get your name on everything to get it out there. And if you kind of had this feeling of like, oh, if I've made this, my name should be on it, which you wouldn't get from a studio engineer who's necessarily making a pop song for someone. So I kind of feel like that plays into it.
It's complicated, I suppose. And a lot of the dance music producers tend to want to be an artist as well. And when you're smaller, like I've never, I've been contacted from the things I've put out under my name, and it's helped because of that. If I had done it and given it to someone else, it might not have worked the same way. You don't know.
So
I think that's a conflict.
I want to try and get to that point as well, where you could just not have to be in the like spotlight, you know? Like at some point, I think I just want to make pop music, you know? And like I don't need to be in the title or anything like that. I just want to get placements and make a career off of that. And I think that people in the dance scene like don't even know that that's how it works everywhere else, like in the music industry. The dance music scene is so different from the like standard industry things.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. But then you've got people that bridge the gap, like the ones I listed back then as well. Exactly. And they're doing the collaboration stuff. So
you had people like you've been getting some work thanks to this Jonas Aiden remix that you did, right? As well. Like that's kind of opened a couple doors for you.
I think it was the best thing I did last year, not just because of the track itself. If I'm being honest, I don't really listen to that kind of music anymore, but it was fun to make.
Yeah.
Well, Jonas Aiden's off the radar now as well, isn't he?
What's that?
Well,
I mean,
he put himself off the radar. He said that he's going to take another break now for like mental health and stuff like that, which I respect.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Every way.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. But anyway, winning that competition was great. It's done so much more than just winning the competition. So one of the prizes for that was being listened to by the A&R at Spinnin', for example. So we sent them all of my stuff, which I don't know if that's a good idea, but we sent them everything that we had. That came out to like an hour or several hours worth of stuff.
Yeah.
But we obviously prioritized the stuff that had already been out as well. So that stuff we thought was the best quality. So I don't know if you know, I don't know if the people on the podcast know, but like I have 2 projects and one of them's this singer-songwriter thing. And then we've obviously got Magnus, which is just production and everything. But sending both of those projects to the guys at Spinnin' was really important because they heard that I was a singer-songwriter, so I could sing, I can write songs, which means I can write for other people too.
Yeah.
And I can produce many different styles. So these 3 things, I think, have made me, I don't want to like big myself up, but like they made me quite valuable towards like publishing and labels and things because they can place you in a room or a virtual room, which has been what I've been doing recently.
Yeah.
And you can just get working with whoever.
Yeah.
So thanks to this singer-songwriting thing that you're doing. Also, for the people who don't know, who might want to go and listen to this, Ewan does singer-songwriting under Ewan Allison as well. He's got like a music video and stuff like that. It's really good. Anyway, so thanks to that, are we gonna be hearing your like voice and your writing featured on like Spinnin' collaborations in the future, or like is there anything out already?
Actually, I didn't think I would be doing this, but it's just kind of happened. Well, it's happened because I've been thrown in sessions where we're like, oh, hi, I do this, and you realize that everyone is a producer, and you're like trying to write a song with a vocal.
Yeah.
So you sometimes get thrown in to a session where you just have to perform a vocal.
Because what I was gonna say is like from what you were saying before, it was more like you're just writing stuff as a reference almost. But like I generally think a lot of the time when you write it, it sounds to the point where you could just release it with your vocal. Like it sounds really good.
Sometimes I go in and try and write a song to give to someone else to sing.
Yeah.
And there's a few benefits for that because you can also kind of make it fit your vision and have more control over how the vocal sounds. Because there's nothing worse than waiting 2 weeks or a month for a vocal and then it comes back and it's just not it.
Yeah.
Like that's a pain.
So you partake in like whenever you hire a vocalist or anything like that, you like to partake in the writing process as well, or do you normally just leave that open?
I think I tend to do that. I mean, I even do that with the artwork I do, like the graphic design stuff. I don't make the artwork, but I have very basic Photoshop skills, so I can take what my artist does and like just edit a little bit and send it back, and then he makes it better.
I think you're like all of us in that sense, where you want complete and utter control of everything relating to what you're doing. Like you want it, you have a vision, and you want it to be, you want it to be executed in a certain way, you know.
But I don't mind other people's creative, touch coming in.
100%. I think that's healthy, but obviously you're like very like you know where you want to go with it, you know what I mean? So but obviously being able to jump in spinning sessions and stuff, obviously with some bigger artists as well and helping them write is probably quite valuable to you as well, because you learn more about the industry when you do that, you know.
I mean, some of the sessions were for spinning, and then some of them were for like pitches that had been sent to the publishing.
Yeah.
And one of them was like to write for a film, so we did that, and then the next day was to write a song with these main guys from spinning, so we did that. And it, every session I've done so far has been pretty good, but they've all been completely different.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. It's good experience. So jumping back to your like Magnus tunes then, what you've been releasing. Currently your biggest tune is on NCS, so it's cool. Tell us how that tune came about, because you've done other tracks with Alessia since as well.
Yeah.
You had her on the Colours EP, as I mentioned earlier on the Cupid song. But Cool's
I just want to say I love that record. It's such a good tune.
Yeah, it's very it's surprising something like that's released on NCS. It's very poppy, but
yeah,
I was surprised by them accepting it as well, and I was super happy because I felt like it might do well on there, because it's got like elements of like dance music and kind of EDM stuff as well. So yeah, it was good.
It's a super commercial twist as well. Like it's still unique, because I don't think you'd hear anything quite like, it's very like slappy, the drop, if you know what I mean. Not slap house, I won't. But it's like the bass bass is very slappy. Like it's got a lot of energy. So
yeah,
I actually recorded that bass in with a bass guitar that's sitting. You can just see its neck right here somewhere.
Oh,
I
nice.
can't even point to it there. That was a fun project. It started with a chord progression from Eric, who's the other guy on it.
Yeah.
And then we did a session on my end, and I just shared my screen. We came up with the first idea, got a vocal. It wasn't good.
Who was the first vocal from?
Don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay.
No. It was more like Eric's doing. And then we sent it to Alessia, and she did a great one. So it was very smooth after that.
She's honestly such a talented vocalist. I've got a track coming up with her next month with Jagsy. So keep your eyes peeled for that. A little plug right now.
She's good. She's good. She's great as well, because she can do more than just write. She can record, obviously that's helpful, but like she can comp her vocals and process them, and she has an ear for something if something doesn't sound good.
I love these singers who have their when they have their own microphone as well, and they know how to record with it, or they just have somewhere they can constantly record. Because I've spoken to a couple of vocalists who like want me to pay for sessions, and I don't have a problem with that.
It's literally better if you just pay them to buy a setup. It's like the same price at the end of the day, and then they will owe you for the setup.
I just say to them, like, why don't you just buy a microphone, and then you're only paying for it once, and then you can literally like get it processed to the point where it's pretty much studio quality if you just learn how to like record with a microphone properly, which isn't hard. So it's definitely a decent microphone is one of the best investments I think any producer can make anyway. Because if you know people I think you'll know people who can sing and can just like help you, you know?
Yeah.
This cost no, do we all have the same mic?
We all have the same mic. We got the Rode one.
Yeah.
This cost like £120, so that's like 140 euros or something.
Yeah.
And it came with your shock mount, and then this pop filter as well. So that's all I've ever used, and I don't think I'll ever get a new one, to be honest.
No, same. It does the job, like absolutely. So if anyone's looking for some hardware tips, you should look at this mic.
I have to say, since I've got mine, I absolutely love it.
Yeah, exactly. It's good.
What did you say? Sorry, I spoke over you then.
Oh no, it's called the Rode NT1A. Yeah. That's the microphone. Really good.
So speaking of NCS, you got some more stuff that might come up later on NCS, right?
Yeah, so I've finished, so this is what I was finishing off. I've finished a 5-track EP for NCS now.
Oh, another EP, let's go.
Yeah, and it's all like house music.
What sort of house music, Ewan?
What sort of house music? It's bass house music. I would say
would that
pretty heavy
be
stuff.
A certain track on there that has been leaked multiple times, which people really want to hear, apparently?
Yeah, there is a track. There is a track that got leaked. So So there's that one, and then there's some other ones I'm excited about as well. So it's just a way. I think these EPs are a great way to package up one sound that you've made.
Yeah.
Put it under that umbrella, and then it allows you to separate your artist project from the sound, which is not something you always want to do, but it's something that I want to do because of the process, or like the way I'm trying to work in the industry. So
I generally feel like EPs are more risky though, in terms of like singles are pretty safe, because if you release with a half decent label, so like if you're releasing, say like you've released on Enter before, you're releasing on NCS or Spinnin', say, but if you release on any of these places and you'll get a decent push on a single as such, but like an EP is a bigger investment, like it's a bigger body of work to put out, so like you can see stuff not getting pushed as much. Are you not like worried about that sometimes when releasing as an EP?
Yeah, I think so. There is a concern there, but there's also, I think maybe we want to talk about this, but the kind of stream quality that's coming in from a lot of EDM at the moment. Maybe we can talk about this. Is let's say lower quality. Because of a lot of like pushing that's being done with advertising and things like that. So on an EP, you could put like you're getting more, let's say, natural streams, which are arguably better as well. So
yeah,
it might have less numbers, but doesn't mean there's less like actual interest in it.
Less engagement.
That's something that's rarely talked about, actually. Like I see so many people talking, like especially like when I scroll on TikTok and see these like so-called gurus who sound like they know what they're talking about. They're like, oh, you gotta push out music all the time so you can get those numbers up. But those numbers doesn't mean anything if they're all like bots, or if they're all like
it's not even bots, it's like passive fans,
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't do anything for you. You want people who are genuinely engaged with the content you're making and your brand.
Exactly. You want a proper like organic audience. You don't want it to be just pushed out to playlists and shit, and then nobody actually pays attention. You just have it playing in the background and shit.
Yeah. Have you explained on this podcast like how a lot of these streams are coming to be?
No, go on. You say.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, you'll notice that there's like a lot of certain types of music. I think Slap House is a great example of this recently.
We've talked about Slap House on here. Yeah.
Because there are some Slap House like hits. Let's say the ones that do really well on their own merit, but there's a lot of people releasing like Slap House, and what the labels do is they create a playlist on Spotify, and then they market the playlist to listeners, but they tend to market them to places that the cost per click is cheaper, right?
Yes.
So
Exactly.
what you're doing is you're marketing a playlist, let's say gym playlist, and you're saying workout tune playlist. But you're marketing it towards countries, like I said, that are cheaper per click, but you're also marketing it towards people, which means that they're not necessarily interested in your music.
Yeah.
They're very passive.
They're just like 100 songs that sounds almost exactly the same in the playlist. So they're not going to pay attention to you as an artist. They're just going to listen to the song and not care about it. Or they're barely going to listen to it. They're going to hear it in the background.
So
it happens a lot with lo-fi music as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So what would you say personally then, in your opinion, Ewan, is the best way to stand out with stuff like this now then? How do you stand out from the crowd if this stuff is a thing?
I suppose really I believe in the music being good.
Quality,
which is
obviously.
Yeah.
Quality over quantity, innit?
Yeah, but of course you've got that kind of extra content as well. Like it's helpful if you have a brand. Obviously, it's helpful if you have like something that's glued together, some content online. So, for example, for this EP, I've got the branding sorted. I've got the artwork sorted. I've got the sample pack, which is something I'm doing as well.
Ooh.
I've got that covered, and I've got all the marketing done for that. So I've collected, and I'm going to be doing like Q&As and all these things. So that's extra content.
Yeah, so there's going to be content around the main content to keep pushing.
Yeah,
it forward. I feel like so many people don't do this.
Yeah,
like, I'm personally shit at this.
This is something people don't talk about.
All to like come up with this shit.
People don't talk about this enough now, because like I think part of being an artist now isn't just music, isn't just good music. It's the whole package that comes with it. So like for me personally, like I spoke about this before, but Run for Your Life was one of the first tracks where I really put a lot of effort into trying this complete package, like and trying to just constantly push it. And just this is why I've left it longer before I've tried to release something else as such after, because I just kind of wanted to see what the payoff from me personally putting more of the effort in is. And I think even though like a lot of the time I feel like you can do that and you won't see like a massive boost in something like streams or something, you get a lot more people engaging genuinely with the song and you talking about the song and being interested in it in general. And I think people connect with, like, it's easier to make a real connection with the audience when you put effort into this sort of stuff. So I think it is definitely super important, because at the end of the day, you're going to have more bargaining power as well with labels if you can prove you can do this stuff successfully, and like there's an attraction for people to come back to your brand, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. And record labels love this kind of engagement from the artist as well. Like if you show them that you want to push this song, like that you can stand on your own 2 feet as well, like, and you only really need their support and their distribution, then they will be inclined to work with you a lot more in the future, and they will like want to push your project and help you push your project. They're not going to be some like platform that you could just put your music on and then you leave it and just look at the numbers, you know?
Yeah.
You want to engage the audience yourself. Otherwise, it's just going to be one of these moments where the label is the face of your brand, which is something that's happened to a lot of people on NCS, which is a like great example. There's so many people releasing on NCS thinking that that's going to make a career for them. When you got artists releasing on NCS and then they still do this like side brand thing, and NCS is not the face of their brand. Yeah. They are the face of their own brand.
You've got to put yourself over their brand in a sense. Like, obviously you want to be...
And labels respect this as well. They do respect this.
Yeah, you want to be associated with them, but you want to be pushing your vision over theirs. And I think a great way of doing this is something I've started doing now with any song I release is I'll supply it, like I'll send demos to a label, and then if they're interested in it, I will supply a pitch full of like different ideas of like marketing stuff and like branding stuff that I want to do for that release now, and like extra opportunities. So keep your eyes peeled, because there's some cool stuff coming up with NCS, which I can't talk about yet, but once I can, I will. But like, yeah, doing stuff like this gives a chance for other opportunities, if you know what I mean. Which you wouldn't get if you didn't show you were willing to do this in the first place. Like, I think with a lot of this stuff, you've got to create an opportunity which isn't there, because a label's not going to come to you and be like, "Oh, we want you to film this video." But if you go to them and say, "Oh, I want to film this video of me doing this set or something in like a I don't know, like doing like a proper 30-minute set in a club, and I want you to post it on your YouTube channel and promote it across your social medias," and you take that idea to them and then you execute it and stuff. Like, a lot of the time they'll be willing to do this because it's pushing their brand as well as yours, you know? Like, if you're both mutually getting benefit from them, why wouldn't they do it? So like, I think that's something definitely to consider with every release, is just trying to think of ways you can both like push your brand and their brand more mutually with like and pitch that to the label. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't do that, you know?
So labels actually have people working at them that are like creative directors, right? Which is a job which needs to be paid for. So if you're an artist that can actually do it themselves, the label's going to like look at that and think, well, we don't need to pay someone else to do this, so it's extra profit.
Yeah, exactly.
There's and especially if you can do like the extra stuff as well, like as a small artist doing graphic design, making extra content yourself, it's going to save you a lot of money.
Well, going back to this also, if you're not talented at that stuff yourself, or you don't like the stuff you can make enough yourself, go on Fiverr, as we said previously. So like, I make all the graphics for this SOUNDPROOF stuff, and I can make graphics, but anything I find that I make for my brand that I don't like a lot of the time, for my music brand, and I don't know why, and I know exactly what I want it to look like, and I know what like how I want my brand to look, but I just can't make it myself without not liking it. So I pay someone on Fiverr to make most of my cover artworks and stuff. But like for example, for the SOUNDPROOF branding, I make all this stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
And something that people seem to forget or don't even know about record labels is that most of the time, like, there is a promo budget. Only a few labels that I've worked with actually present the promo budget, tell them like how much money is in the pot. But you can literally ask these record labels like, yo, is there a chance that I could get a promo budget so I can push a few things on the side? Like I want to, let's say you want to get equipment, you want to pay for equipment so you can shoot a music video, for instance. You could ask the record label if they can give you a piece of the budget there.
The best way to do that, in my opinion, a lot of the time is not to ask for a promo budget, but to present ideas for promotion which would need that budget. So like, and then a lot of the time, if you present it in the right way and you push them enough with the idea and give them a good reason to do it,
of course,
a lot of the time follow through
as well.
Yeah, but I would definitely present it. I get what you're saying completely, but if you go to a label and you say, "Oh, I want 5K for a music video," you know what I mean? You need to present to them the reasons why you need that 5K, like what parts of the like why they should do it. Like you need to justify everything, but like there, as Jesper says, there is a little pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, which they're waiting to give you if you have the right idea. So
yes, exactly. And if you take the time to like do some brainstorming, and then you get a really sick idea, if you present this idea to the record label, they're usually going to be intrigued. Like if there's more money to be earned, why would they say no? But if it's a shit idea, of course they're going to turn you down. But like there are only so few ideas that are shit, you know.
The other thing is, I doubt a lot of artists do this. Like I did. Well, to be honest, until I spoke to both Jake, who's in our group, and Ewan, I didn't even think about doing this myself because
I didn't even know that it was a thing. You know?
Yeah, because Jake was showing us some stuff he'd done before, and it just made me think, well, why wouldn't you do this? Like, why wouldn't you do this for every song if you honestly believe in it? And it's yeah, it's just so beneficial. Like
so many people just see record labels as like somewhere to just put your music and not care about
record labels probably they probably don't get this stuff often. Like, and when they get it, they'll probably be impressed at the fact you've even thought of it, you know? So yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, also, again, small record labels and small time producers are not used to, I'd say the smaller you are, the less of in a bargaining position you're in, though. So that's a problem.
Of course, but if you have a solid idea on how to like brand, let's say you are releasing an EP, the more solid idea you have of how to brand this, and if you got like all these ideas for side content, you don't even need money for this stuff. Like you could just make this yourself. They're still gonna respect you for doing this, and they're gonna be more inclined to work with you. So,
I would put it this way though, like, so what you're saying about not having bargaining power, that's true, but the bargaining power you have is if you have an idea that's going to make both them money and you money through doing it, and it's going to push the content more. Basically, you need an idea. Like at the end of the day, they're a label. They want to make money. Like that's one of their main things. Like obviously they want to release good music, but they've got to make profit. They're
sometimes they don't.
So sometimes they don't. But what you've got to do is present them with an idea which is going to like help them make more money on what you're giving them. Like at the end of the day, that's the main motivation for what you're doing. So
there's a reason why so many record labels want to work with influencers and make them make music or ask them to like push a sound.
They have a very active audience who are willing to just like follow them to any KSI. That's why he's a chart-topping musician partly now. And I'm not saying the music he makes is necessarily bad, but it's like
he's actually a very good rapper as well.
He's not on the level of a lot of massive artists, but he has that massive fan base. And to be fair to him, he's absolutely banging it at the moment.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it shows that it shows exactly what labels are looking for now. Because I feel I wasn't gonna go on to this today, but I feel like it's worth talking about this now. So I feel like overall quality of music has dropped slightly with things like TikTok trends coming along, and like if a trend catches along and it gets big, labels jump on it and then it becomes a charts craze. And I think the overall quality of music has dropped in the last few years because of this partly. I'm not sure it's necessarily a bad thing because it's still music people like, but just want to get your opinion on that.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the music industry machine just wants to make money at the end of the day. You know, these are companies that have like
shareholders.
Yeah, shareholders and shit like that. Wait, do they?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Wait, yeah, shit, you're right. They do have shareholders. Fuck, I'm an idiot.
Well, some of them.
Yeah.
obviously they
If
have
they're public,
investors
yeah.
to start things up, but obviously they also just have staff that they need to pay. So
Yeah.
like but that's just the nature of that. But
So
like, I'm not criticizing
literally
them
just
for making money.
Yeah, exactly.
But they want to see a return,
yeah.
of course.
So if the quality doesn't matter, as long as it gets numbers, of course that's what they're gonna do. You know.
Yeah, it's not my approach. So I would like
same,
to keep the quality high.
I wouldn't say it's my, but because I think in the long term, quality pays off more than quantity. Because you can keep pumping out quantity for as long as you want, but you're going to get tired of it at some point. If you pump out quality, it's got, in my opinion, it's got more space to grow in the longer term, and you just keep more of your like image in check. You know what I mean? So
there's different approaches. That's it. You can have kind of meme songs, let's say, and center them around TikTok or YouTube.
Yeah.
Or you could in fact focus entirely on the music, which is something that is also an approach. Make the best music you can, and then don't really do much on your socials. That's an option.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if that's super beneficial though, because like these days, I feel like you have to, like, if you want to make a career, having you as the face of your project, you kind of need to be somewhat of an influencer as well. Not like mainly, but you do need to have some kind of social.
You
media
need to have
presence.
some sort of personality and presence. Like that's the main thing. You know.
Although some people I followed, they're doing incredibly well with music, but like their social medias are like one post a month, and it's just a picture of them with a piano or something, right? It can work, and for some people, the music
I think that's more of an anomaly now than not, though. I think the people generally that you're going to see are the ones who are more active. I think it is still possible if you're super talented, but like if you're just not sure where to go from here, probably the way to go is to be more active on social media. But my big but on this would be, I would wait until you're happy with the quality of music and you're releasing in decent places to make that social media presence a thing. Because then, like, wait until you really believe in the music you're doing before you go on to try and push it on these platforms. Because
the only problem,
go on.
Is I used to believe in my terrible music.
Same, bro. Same.
So
Same.
Scum banana,
yeah.
Yeah, we could talk about Scum Banana.
Go on, let's talk about Scum Banana.
Let's talk about that.
But yeah, that was my first alias.
Your first alias.
Scum
And
Banana.
there's still music from
did
that
you make?
project up as well, right?
Yeah, and it's terrible. It's really bad. So that was my first project, and but I believed that it was good at the time. That's what I mean.
To be fair, I have to admit, some of the music you released on Scum Banana for that time was half decent. You were dropping some future house bombs.
There was one Future House song that I did that did reasonably well.
Was it Future House Records you released on or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
But that was it. That was a bad project. But I believed in it.
Yeah, I mean, I
bad.
feel like a lot of people come to a point where like they don't see progress, and they're like, oh shit, is my music bad? And maybe it is, and they just take a long like break to kind of like get their music right, and then they completely rebrand, or they start a new alias, or they like do that. Because I've seen a lot of times, like I've seen artists or a song just blow up, it starts charting, and then you go onto the profile and there's one song up, like Medusa, for instance. I'm pretty sure that when what's the name of the song? The first song that they made again?
Piece of Your Heart.
Yeah. When that song blew up, that was the only song that you could find on there.
Pretty sure he did a lot of co-writing stuff before for people. So when it got to the point where he wanted to break out, he had those connections there to put it in place, and he had the right sound at the right time. Because that whole deeper sound is really in trend at the moment.
And that's
it's like
also
Benny
a
Blanco.
sick way to make exactly.
Yes.
Benny Blanco as well. It's a really sick way to actually make a career. Establish yourself inside of the music industry before you try and like push your brand as well.
Well, but look, Benny Blanco got to a position in the industry where he's able to write a production like he did every day, call up Khalid and say, yo, do you want to sing on this track? Like, to get to that position, you've got to have done a lot other work.
Yeah, and not only that. From what I heard, I believe Jake told me this. From what I've heard, like he had the bargaining power with the record label to say, like, yeah, I mean, I could just not
look
work.
at all the things I've done
look at
for
all
you.
look at all the shit that I'm doing for you. What if I would just stop doing this? You know? And they were like, well, okay, but we do need you. So I mean, and you do make good music. There's no reason for us not to push this. You know?
Yeah, and he started an artist project and got absolutely insane amounts of streams. And it's still going.
He's just come out of nowhere working with the biggest artists in the world, but he was working with them before. We just didn't know he was. I think this is that whole, like, goes back to what we were saying earlier about, as a smaller producer, getting your name on a track. Maybe you should take the Benny Blanco route.
Yeah, like you don't need to grow from the bottom up to grow like your artist project. You could work for other people for a long fucking time and make quite a reasonable amount of money doing it as well, because people appreciate when you work for them. Like, obviously.
You need to be a genuinely good writer and producer before you do that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the way people grow as producers now through learning online is putting out music and seeing what the response is back. Because I know for me early on, it was seeing people calling my music an utter pile of shit, which made me improve. No, that's the thing though.
Yeah.
If people don't tell you it's bad, you don't try and improve, because you think, like, once you got a smash lead in Serum, it's not Serum, Smash Lead and Silent, and like a future bounce bass that you've made an absolute banger.
Yeah.
Do we want to play that one?
No. We're not doing that.
We need people to find this. I'm gonna post it in the comments of this video.
Well, we'll speak about this in another episode, because that's going down the Scum Banana route for you.
They can go listen to that stuff all they want.
Yeah, Scum Banana is an amazing project. You should all go check it out.
Isn't that the crazy thing, right? Do you know all these YouTube channels that re-upload other channels' uploads?
Yeah.
It's just like NCS releases get that the whole time.
Yeah.
You search your track on NCS and you've got NCS, and then you've just got Nightcore edits, you've got everything.
You got 10 different, like, 10-hour versions, 1-hour versions.
And then you've got 100 different channels.
Like Spotify, take my song down.
It's
everywhere.
Yeah. But you've got
your old stuff is just all over the internet.
With NCS releases, you get these 100 different channels which are like non-copyright Squid or something. Like it'll have like some other name with NCS. You know what I mean though? You'll have like some other name, and they'll just like be 100 different channels uploading.
Yeah. Which is cool, because they still like, they do it because they like the music, but I mean, it's not really a sustainable business model to just completely copy someone else's content, is it?
So, Ewan, what's your so leading on from Scum Banana mainly, because I'm pretty sure one of the Scum Banana tracks will be this. What's your favorite track you've released?
Is
it not a Scum Banana track?
No.
Damn it.
Can I go on my Spotify? You forget sometimes.
You can go on your Spotify.
You forget what music you release. Well, to be fair, I do that too, to be honest. There's like, I've got so many songs in my catalog that I don't even remember that I fucking released.
I know my whole catalog like the back of my hand.
You do?
I'm obsessed.
I'm
obsessed.
Okay, the one I'm proudest of is probably Liar.
Oh, yes. Same, dude.
Yeah.
It's such a good song.
That was quite good.
Yeah, man.
Like fun for me to make, and it was a challenge, but yeah, it was good. I like that one.
Yeah, man, it's such a good song, that one.
So that's and I'm happy it's doing reasonably well as well.
Was that the headlining track for the EP, wasn't it? I'd say.
Yeah. The EP was kind of a bit thrown together because we had these demos and things to finish. That was released several months before the EP was.
Yeah, but Liar got like a music video as well, didn't it? Yeah,
it was really good.
Love that music video, dude. Like the art style that's released in it is really sick. So if you guys haven't seen the music video for that, go check that out. Like that's, in my opinion, like that's how you should make a music video these days. Like if it's animated and shit.
Yeah, it's really cool.
If you're not going to do
we had a little bit to play in the creative process. Me and now you pronounce it Zeli, but everyone's calling her Zelly, and I'm just going to keep calling her Zelly as well. Me and Zelly actually put our ideas into the group chat with the artist as well, and we drew random little things, and we had a back and forth, and then we got the final result. So
that's super cool.
Yeah,
man. Well, you want to be part of these things, like it's your brand at the end of the day. Like
this is what we were saying earlier. You want to be part of every little thing and make sure you can like it goes towards your vision,
Yeah. I've got a track, a little bit of self-promo here, but I've got a track coming with Connor, who's another Booth member.
Mr. Ross.
Connor Ross.
Yes.
That'll be, I think for me, that would be my favorite release I'll put out, but that's coming later.
I've been complaining with you guys. No, actually, fuck, that's not that song. I'm thinking about the one with Kelvin, I think.
That's a banger. That's a banger.
Yeah, it is a banger, but the melody of that sounds exactly like a melody of mine on a song that I'm trying to sign right now. So I just got to push that up before they do.
Oh shit. Yeah. I've got songs with singing on them, which is something new for me, and I've got different styles. I'm really enjoying like kind of deeper house stuff right now. Trance kind of house stuff. And I'm doing more singing with that stuff. So lots of different stuff coming up, and yeah,
nice, dude.
That's the year.
A segment we do every week. This is one of the last segment before Ewan can plug any other shit he wants to plug. New Music Friday. It was a bit of a weak New Music Friday this week. I'm not gonna lie. There wasn't loads of stuff that I was massive on, but yeah, Jasper, you go first. Tell us what your tune is this week.
Well, obviously, I need to pick Chris's new song. The Rude Lights, Give Me What. It's such a banger, man. And that song's been anticipated for a while as well. Because it was a song that he made on the Shining Beats thing, and people loved that idea that he was making. I loved it as well, and I'm so happy that it actually released that song. That's going straight in my playlist.
My only comment on it is it's only 1 minute 50. I don't know why he made it so short. It's 1 minute 50. Is it really? Yeah.
Replayability, I guess.
I'm guessing the extended edit is like 2 or 3 minutes.
That's really short.
But I was just surprised. Like I would expect it like at least 2 minutes. You know.
Yeah.
But I think it's a banger. It's a good song.
It's a really good
just
song.
A little bit short in my opinion.
I don't listen to New Music Friday as much as I should. I need to do it.
You get some inspiration from it.
So my pick is not from. I don't even know when it was released, but I heard it recently and I like it. It's Cold Light by KC Lights, who happens to be another Glaswegian. I'll just point that out. Okay. It's quite cool to see someone from Glasgow on the music scene.
That's really sick, man.
The EDM stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's not EDM. It's just kind of
it's electronic dance music though. It fits into the...
Well, I know this is going off topic, but people tend to say... Like EDM to me, when I hear the word EDM, obviously technically anything that you can dance to and it's made in a computer is EDM, right? But EDM to me means like bro step.
Yeah, I feel you.
Anyway, what's yours, Tom?
Okay, so mine was the new Grant song, Won't Give Up.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I've only listened to it once or twice, but honestly, I like Grant's stuff a lot. I believe he sings on most of his stuff now. His sound design is just insane as well. Like he makes the cleanest future bass stuff I've heard.
Yeah, man, you were hooked on Distraction for a while. Well, to be fair, I
still really like Distraction. It's like just one of those tunes which just stands out so much. Like I hadn't heard anything like that before quite, but like it was just so replayable, you know.
Yeah, and he keeps releasing music like that, which I fucking love.
It's not quite Distraction level, but it's still playlistable, you know? It's a good song.
That was a lowly release.
Yeah. I'm surprised that didn't go on Monster Cat, you know?
Maybe he
I need to listen to some more Grant.
He used his bargaining power, as we were saying earlier, to get a better deal with Lowly. Who knows?
Probably.
Oh my God, Grant's fully on Monster Cat.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're pretty much done. We'll call it a day there. But before we go, Ewan, is there anything you would like to plug?
Okay. So I've got a little spinning like deep house song coming out.
Ooh.
Then I've got a corner song, and then I've got the bass house EP and a sample pack that's coming with that, which is going to include all of the samples from any house track I've ever released.
Ooh.
So that's going to be good.
To be fair, if you've heard Ewan's Colors EP sample pack, it is really sick. Like he gave it to most of the people in our group, and we've all used it absolutely loads. Like
I genuinely use it for
super
almost
high quality.
Every song that I make now.
So that's something you want to keep your eye on. But yeah, go follow Ewan on Spotify if you don't already, because he's got a lot of stuff coming up. And definitely. All his socials will be linked below as always, so check him out there as well. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for this week's episode. If you've made it to the end, thanks for listening as always. If there's artists you'd like to see, comment them down below. Any ideas what you want us to talk about as well? Again, comment that down below. I've been Tom Wilson. We've got Jonth here as well. Thank you very much for coming on, Ewan.
That's cool.
We'll see you all next week.
Good luck with the new ones.
Peace.
Peace.
See you.